Alvaro in 2 different spots. And I just bladed because he was a little bit too close to the center line there. And it's just going to make life easier for us if he's moving back. So I'm going to delete out that first piece. And then I'm going to fast forward here. Now, at some point, you're going to see him leave this side. So I'm going to cut it there. And then he goes to the other side. Okay, so at that point, when he's in his spot, we're going to basically start that next clip at that spot. So I'm deleting out that middle chunk. Okay, so basically what I have here, I'll show you, I'll position this so you can see the 2 pieces. Clip 1, he's on the right side. Clip 2, he's on the left side. All right, so go ahead and edit that down. Doesn't matter if the clips are the same length at this point. Just get them separated. Okay, so left side, right side, and just 2 separate clips. You guys good? You get them separated. Cut that thing up so it's like mine. You got like when he's on the right side. If he's he's a little close to the center there, so I wouldn't start it until he's like back a little bit. One of the things that you guys are just going to notice, a lot of times when we do special effects stuff, it is very important that you have the camera still, okay? At least for a portion of it, and then you can fake certain movements and stuff. Some of the people up on YouTube are either A, really good with the programs, or B, they're doing green screen. So, I mean, you could have a camera pan with somebody and green screen them in, but in this case, there's no green screen involved. There's advantages and disadvantages to both. So this one, like I said, was shot with the camera in 1 spot and the actor, Alvaro, in 2 spots. So what I'm going to do is actually pile these 2 on top of one another. So I'm going to take this clip and I'm literally just going to drag and drop it to be up top. And then if you want to be a little bit of a perfectionist, you can go ahead and blade out the extended clip at the end there and just delete everything so it's all the same length. All right, and what's going to happen now is the 1 clip on top is blocking out the bottom clip. Okay. So that being said, we want to expose the bottom clip. How do we do that? What tool? Yeah, Mike. Yeah, crop tool. So I'm clicking on that top clip, and then my crop tool, the easiest way to get to it is just that center button. So I'm going to go click on crop, and I'm going to move the right side of my screen over, and immediately you're going to see Alvaro appear. Okay, so now he's in there twice. So let's go ahead and play.
Stop moving. Just stand there. Stand there. Okay, so we have enough footage. Okay. All right, now what I'm going to do is...
Okay, so that right there is a split screen. Now, if you guys look really close, it's actually not bad. There's a little bit of that seam line where you can see the split screen. So if that is the case, okay, one thing I would do is I would definitely position that line at a spot where you feel like you could blend it pretty well. So if there's a lot of information there, that would help it. So like right here, you can see it's kind of like there's a line there anyway. So that blends it in fairly flawlessly. Anywhere that you can kind of hide it is going to work. Okay. So like you can see, now at that beginning clip, you see that right there? What's the issue? You guys can definitely see the difference there. What's the problem? The lighting's the issue, right? So in that case, maybe the left clip we might want to make a little bit brighter. Okay, so what I would do is I would click on, make sure I'm on that clip actually, which is the top one. And I'm going to go up to my color and this little arrow right here. We're going to go over and I'm going to go into exposure and I'm basically just going to brighten up that left clip a little bit. And now that looks pretty good.
Do something like point yourself
right there.
Pretty
flawless. I mean, you can see over time it gets a little bit disheveled. Okay.
Now what I'm going to do
I don't think you can keyframe the brightness, but what you could do is you could cut the clip up into a couple sections and then be like, all right, this clip's a little bit brighter, this one's a little bit darker. There might be a little bit of jumpiness to it, but it might just be what you have to do. Another thing you could potentially do to try to blend stuff together would be masking. So if you guys go into your effects browser, which is right here, and we go into maybe like keying, you can use like the graduated mask to do this. You could use the circle mask. Let's see what this one does. So I put that on there. I'm going to get out of the color adjustment, and then you can see that one, like that one's actually making like a ghost effect on him just as soon as I put it on. That's actually not what I want. So we're actually gonna bump this thing down here. I want to say what I'm kind of trying to do here is make it so we can blend it across instead of up and down. I'm not exactly sure if that's working. There we go. Now that's looking pretty good. Could even maybe put it on the bottom one. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay, so I'm just moving these things around and basically like fading them in and out. So actually, I probably should have done this one to the other clip like this, now that I'm looking at it. All right, so that would be a good way actually to do this, to blend these. So that's that graduated mask. I'm actually going to take it off. I would probably do that to the top clip because you can kind of blend it in then. So there we go. That looks pretty good. Now we're talking. Okay, so right there, and then you can kind of subtly kind of adjust that using the amount, your targets, and your center. Okay, but I think that's probably the best way to do it. And then let's see what it looks like now.
All right, now do something like point yourself.
Pretty good. Now, think about this. Okay, we're looking at this clip. Okay, there's only 2 of them. How can I make it so I can get like 5 of them in there? What would I have to do? Okay, copy you. Well, you'd actually need more clips. You probably need like a clip like maybe where he was like where you're sitting here, you know, because then what you can do is you can get that 3rd clip, pop it on top, and just have it cropped in so it only shows you here. And then you could have another one where like maybe you're standing over here and you can crop just a sliver of that. Because remember, with crop, you guys can go side to side, up and down, but you can also like we could crop it into just here too. So you know. Whatever that background clip is showing is fine, but you can crop into like a small amount. So those masks then would really come in handy. I mean, really, if you guys wanted to do a project where you had yourself like, you know, in the clip all over the place. Did anybody go down to that art fair? We all went down to the art fair, the art expo thing the other day. You guys see Chris Nowrocky's piece in the auditorium when he was like multiplying himself, sitting on his seat? Like, I mean, that I don't think you can do because it's so compact. But you could do that same mentality of having yourself in a bunch of different places. But you need to kind of be planned out. Because like looking at this clip now actually gives me a good idea of where would work to put, you know, Alvaro. So I maybe would film 2 and be like, all right, don't move the camera. He would work really well here. He would work really well here. I could probably have him sitting against the wall there. You know, so you can kind of plan out your idea a little bit. Okay. Any questions on this one? Okay. Let's go ahead now, and you can use the same project, it's fine. But I want you guys to pull in some of your green screen clips. So, green screen clips that I gave you. The first one I want you guys to get is this one, where it's just a camera panning with you walking. That's all it is. Okay, go ahead and take that clip and drag that down into your timeline. Take your time. I'll wait, make sure everybody gets set up here. All right, so we've pulled down this clip. All right, now this is gonna be simple. There's a lot of things you guys can do to mess around with it. I'm gonna mess around with this clip of Mr. Brandt. Okay, you see where he's just running in place there in front of the green screen. Go ahead and pull that one down. You guys can mess around with my clip if you want to afterwards. I don't really care. Okay, so looking at this clip here, let me zoom in. What is there's a couple issues with it. What are they? What'd you say? Okay, yeah. The green screen isn't the whole clip, so you can see background and stuff. But the biggest problem with this that's almost unfixable is that desk in the bottom right corner is like really hard to get out. Like there's ways that you can do it, but it sucks. What else? What else do you like? Look at the green screen itself. What else do you think could be problematic with the green screen? Yeah.
It's like on an angle.
It's on an angle, which is going to make cropping hard.
Yeah.
What else with it? It is terrible. Look how folded it is. All those shadows and stuff are going to make it very difficult for you to green screen out. When you guys film green screen, you do need to make sure that you don't wear green that day because otherwise you're going to be missing parts of your body, okay? Like when you green screen. So that's one thing to think about. All right, so we need to basically get it to a point where all we see is just him and the green screen. So what do you guys think is a good way to do that? There's a couple different ways. One we just did, which was crop, okay? That one would work. You could easily move this in, okay? The other one that we didn't talk about, which I don't even know if this will work, would be maybe a circle mask, okay? We put a circle mask on it, and I can kind of feather this in now. So all these things I'm playing around with up in my editor here. Actually, this might work out pretty well. That looks pretty solid. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to crop this thing in as well. So I can only see Mr. Brandt. And hit done. Okay, we're going to see what that looks like. So I basically tried to trim out anything that that we don't need in that clip. All right, now for getting the green screen to go away, we're actually going to go into keying in our effects browser. So there's keying. And then here's our keyer. So as soon as I click on keyer, you're going to see what it's going to look like. So I'm going to take it and just drop it on. All right, not bad. Okay, you can kind of see what it's going to look like. Now, obviously, the issue there is my circle mask is not doing everything it should here. So all right, so I'm just messing with the feathering. That actually, I'll be honest with you, that's probably one of the best times I've ever done it right there. That looks pretty good. So we used circle mask, which is in keying, and keyer. Now the keyer itself has a lot of controls. Mainly, strength you're going to use quite a bit, fill holes, edge distance. But looking at this right now, it is looking pretty good. Okay. So there we go. And you can see now I've been able to insert him in there. Now, how do I make him smaller to make it kind of look like he's in the video a little bit better? Yeah, transform is going to be an easy way to do it. And then from there, we're talking about keyframing, okay, which is something that's universal. We use a lot in this this class. Okay, so I'm going to go place him where I need him. There we go. And then let's see what that looks like. Okay, you can see the issue there is it matches up kind of well, but not like extremely well. So, you might want to trim out some of it at the beginning there when he's just standing still. Slide that video clip over. Okay, if and when this closes out again for like the 9,000th time, then yep, there we go. Awesome. Well, so the next step then, guys, would be to